Hey guys, it's me, Sardix Films here, and I'm trying to process this a little bit. No, I'm not crying. In case you're wondering why I sniffled, I was just outside working and stuff, so that's why if I sniffle, that's why it's kind of cold out here in Minnesota. But yeah, the reason for this video. Still kind of tired. The reason for this video, and I hate that I'm doing this, I'm canceling Hero Factory Infected. And I know you guys loved that series from all this, and I know that because of all the support that I got with it. Everybody loved it, and everybody loved it, really. I mean, and I'm glad that you guys liked something that I did. It's just, the series is, I got so many things that I gotta do. I mean, like, I have so many series that I'm planning to do. I still have to do Self-Mock Adventures series. And canceling Mock Wars, that was just an idea. But I also have a Matoran Adventures series to do. I gotta do Bionicle End of All Hope. And plus this summer I'm filming Sardix the movie and hopefully getting it out. So yeah. Now I'm not going to leave you guys hanging on the show. I'm going to tell you in this video what happens in the series. And I know I only made it to episode 2, but alright, so here we go. Just so I don't leave you guys hanging. In episode 3, the episode opens up on Sardix tossing and turning in his sleep, and it goes into his nightmare, and he's just standing there, and he's hearing Firestorm saying, "Why did you kill me? Why did you kill me?" And he's like, "Stop! Why do you haunt me?" And as Firestorm shows up right in front of his face, he says, "Why did you kill me?" Sardix turns around, and he's like, "I couldn't let you turn into one of those things. I just couldn't let you turn." And he turns around to apologize to Firestorm, and Firestorm's a walker and just tears open Sardix. Then Sardix wakes up, and he gets up and he walks off from the camp. 9 notices that he gets up, and he taps Kid on the shoulder. And later, after the intro plays, later Kid goes up to Sardix, and they talk a little bit, and Sardix tells Kid how he knows what happens and stuff. How he knows about, the bites, the infection. Because, he had a team right before, his team was sent on what was it? There was, some kind of, just, control things a little bit and make sure that the bite, the walkers didn't get too out of hand, which they did. His whole team died. He escaped. They all got bit and eaten and stuff. And he escaped and stuff. He told Kid that story. And then Bear comes up. He's like, "Dude, we gotta go. There's a herd on the way. They're heading towards our camp." And so they all pack up and they're heading to the building that Rex and Firestorm were talking about in episode 2. They get to the building, and it turns out to be an ammo and a weapons depot. And they split off into teams. Sardix, Jake, Kid, and Rex are Team 1, and then the rest are Team 2. So they go through, and they just start pretty much picking everything up. With Sardix and Jake's team, they find this one area. Sardix finds enough clips to last him for a whole year, pretty much, for his pistol. Jake is looking for a new shotgun since Rex shot his old one. And they just kind of keep, looking for, what's useful. Walkers end up coming into the building, chasing after them. Sardix stays behind to siphon some more stuff, And Jake's like, no, I won't leave him. He's my best buddy, stuff like that. And Kid has to pull him along. He's like, come on, let's go. We're getting out of here. And Sardix locks himself up in a room in the building. And he turns out, oh, now that will come in handy. And then as the three of them are running down the hallway, you hear shotgun blasts in the back. And Rex is like, sounds like a double barrel. And then Sardix comes by, is running after them, and he's like, go, run! And they're all running, and then Sardix turns around to kill a walker, and it grabs him by the wrist and brings Sardix's hand close to its mouth, and Kid shoots it before he bites him. And then Sardix is like breathing all heavy. He's like, oh my god, that was so close. And Kid's like, yeah, alright. And then Sardix is like, okay, I'm gonna go and siphon some more stuff. You guys get out of here. I'm gonna try and siphon what I can. So then they're going on, and then Ghost and Bear and stuff and Nine are on the roof, and they're looking down, and there's so many walkers down there. They're like, oh my god, it's 1,000. There's like 1,000,000 of them. So they get going down to the where they're supposed to meet up. Everyone shows up but Sardix. And then Sardix comes walking up after they're all like, where is he? And then Sardix is kind of moving slowly, and he collapses, and then the episode ends. Episode 4, it turns out Sardix got bit, and when he gets bit, they decide to take his hand off, which Rex has to make a new robotic hand for him, and that's pretty much all the episode. And then Sardix tells them that they're all infected. And that's kind of that whole episode. Not really too much to talk about there. Episode 5, Kid freaks out at Sardix, wondering why he kept this from them. And Sardix is like, I was trying to tell you on the cliff, but you said that we had to go because there was a herd on the way. And Kid actually points his gun at Sardix's face. Kid is just pissed off. He never really had the intent to kill Sardix, but he was just really pissed off and stuff. Nine knocked him out, didn't want to take any chances. Then you hear rustling in the bushes, and this fat guy pretty much pulls a gun on Sardix, and then Sardix turns around, and they know each other, but they don't have the best relationship with each other, because that guy, I think his name was Grex. He killed 3 of Sardix's hero teams, and Sardix has just held a grudge against him that entire time. And then this guy named Nano comes up. If you remember this in episode 2, when Kid and Jake are on their way to the river to go fishing, there's a green foot that comes down with a blade that's by his foot. If you remember that's who that was. His name is Nano. He's from Atlanta and stuff. And then Nick pops out of the bush, and Jake's like, oh my god! And he runs up and he hugs Nicky, and Nick's like, are you for realsies? And then the whole friendship kind of comes into contact. And Sardix pretty much almost kills Grex at that point after he saw him. And then everyone's freaking out, why are you trying to kill him? Because he tried to kill me so many times, and he's just a fat waste of metal, and he's stupid, and he stinks, and stuff like that. And then Nano, he comes up and he's like, yeah, it looks like you two don't have the best relationship with each other. Not gay or anything, but just friendship wise, I guess you could say. But then Sardix realizes that there's a bandage on Nano's arm, and they're like, what happened to you? He's like, oh, I got bit about 6 hours ago. And they tell him what happens, and they let him, he wants to stay alive. He doesn't fear death, but he wants to stay alive until he can go no further. They all start walking because Rex reminds him that there's a herd on the way. As they start walking, Nine's like, come on, let's get a move on, and Kid already woke up, I forgot to mention that, but Kid woke up, and Nine's like, okay, come on, let's get a move on, and Grex kind of whispers, and no, you won't. And then he pulls out a gun and tries to shoot Nine, but then Sardix saves Nine, but then Grex is holding Sardix over a cliff after he tackles Grex, and he yanks Grex down with him, and they're rolling down this huge hillside, and they're getting bruised and cut up and stuff. It gets really intense, and then Sardix is like, I'm gonna kill you, Like Grex grabs him, pushes him up against a rock, and tries to punch Sardix. Sardix dodges the punch, and is on the ground now because he lost his balance. Grex runs up and kicks Sardix in the face. And then Sardix pulls a shotgun out, shoots Grex, and runs up towards everyone else. And they're fighting off walkers. And Bear got a huge cut on his leg because he slipped and fell on a huge rock, and it just cut his leg open. Rex is trying to stitch that, and then a walker bumps Rex on accident. Well, yeah, it just bumps Rex, and it moves his stitch, and the stitch goes all the way through his leg, Bear's leg, and just causes more pain for Bear. And they eventually they move on because Nano has the least to lose, so he distracts the walkers, and he runs off, and they all start chasing him. And then Jake is all like, well, what about Sardix? We can't leave him behind. There's a 50-50 chance that he's alive. And Kid hesitates to do this, but he wants to keep everyone alive because he is the leader of the group. And Jake is like, fine, and he's all pissed off because he does not want to leave Sardix behind because Jake and I are good friends in real life. And he writes in the dirt, RIP Sardix 1999 to 2602. A good friend, member of Potato. Sardix sees that and he kind of walks after their footprints. And he comes across Nano, who is getting eaten by walkers. He's torn open. Sardix kills him, kills the walkers. And he is like just saying stuff. He's like, "I'm so sorry this happened to you, Nano." He picks up the gun from Nano, and goes after the guy and goes after everyone else. And he finally catches up to them. And they get him up to speed and what their plan is. Episode 6 is Once Bitten, Twice Shy. That's the name of the episode because at the end of the episode, I'll get there in just a second, but they find this old building, which apparently was Aldous Witch's, one of Aldous Witch's outposts or science labs that he used to create the walkers, and they found some information on how to kill the walkers. They have to find these machines somewhere on the planet, which they do find the closest one, and they're like, okay, at the end of our journey, at the end of our journey, the living will rise and we will make the dead die. And everyone's like, okay, good plan, we'll scavenge this, and then we'll head off in the morning. In the morning, the kid wakes up and he notices Nine's gone, but all his bags are still there, so he's like, okay, Nine probably just went out to go take a piss. But he notices that there is a bloody arrow on the ground, and some rounds that he thought he heard in, like, some pistol bullet shells all over the ground. He's like, oh god, Nine's probably missing, and he hears some rustling in the bushes. He opens the bushes, a walker comes out and bites Kid right on the wrist. Kid stomps on the walker's head and kills it, and then Jake and Sardix come out because they heard some noises, and they're like, dude, you okay? And Kid hides the bite. He's like, Nine's missing, I don't know where he is, and we're all like, okay, we're gonna find him. Episode 7 is where Season 1 was originally supposed to end. They're looking for Nine. They don't know where he is. We're all concerned because it is Kid's brother and he's a good friend. We end up chasing this guy down who's holding Nine hostage that no one really recognizes, but everyone surrounds him towards like the middle of the end of the episode. And they're all surrounding him. They have their guns pointed at him. No one, he doesn't see any of us, but Kid is out in the middle. The guy has Nine, he's holding Nine hostage. He's got a gun on Nine, and we're all like, Kid said he'd give us an order to fire. Kid's like, you don't have to do this, just please let him go, you don't need to do this. He's like, oh no, I have to. It's the only way that it's the only way that I can get you guys over to my camp, and we want nothing to do with this guy because we think he's a freaking psychopath. And he kind of is a little bit, and so's the guy's leader who you'll meet in what was supposed to be Season 2. But Nick is just kind of tired of waiting, and he takes a shot and hits the guy right in the shoulder, which is a shoulder that he's kind of using to hold Nine hostage. He lets go and he screams. Then we all open fire. Nine is crawling towards Kid. He doesn't get hit, but the guy gets shot like several times before he runs off. And then Nine runs up to Kid. We're all like, oh yeah, we found him. and then Kid collapses and faints,